everybody. What's up? Just a few updates. Number one, I want to start off with the last story that I did, and that was about the AB, Aryan Brotherhood, Universal Aryan Brotherhood paralegal, Lee England. I did find out, legally speaking, if you guys, nobody knows what I'm talking about, there's a paralegal, Utah-based paralegal, former federal inmate, that's working as an FBI foreman against the Universal Aryan Brotherhood, and others. Huge case. The emails that were leaked out of that showed I think 60 plus names, if I'm correct. Anyway, it's actually legal for a paralegal to work as an FBI informant and do what he did. And what he did do was he was calling a member of the UABs out of the jail cell on legal phone calls and then working in concert with an FBI agent. So that I was questioned about if that was actually legal. It is, I found out. Nevertheless, I mean, it's just whatever. I don't know what happened in the circumstances about it. Next, I guess, an update on my personal status, which is I'm still waiting to be transferred into the Federal Bureau of Prisons. They do have me going somewhere, probably to a medical facility. I said early on that I wasn't going to do the medical stuff, and there was different reasons behind that. I'm not really sure if they'll ever have time. The truth is that after the incident with the staff over the haircut, and I was dragged down the stairs, so the bladder ruptured, meniscus tore, whatever. But there was a lot of blood, and I had to take urinary tests. And then I had to take other tests, and I have bad blood cell counts, white and red. So whatever that means, they thought it was maybe an infection. It's not an infection, but whatever. I'll deal with that. I don't know what I'm going to do as far as going down. I also found out that I'm actually eligible really early on, maybe even from here, for a halfway house. And once I go to a halfway house, I can actually request ankle monitor to my house. I don't know, like I said before, I have an opportunity in North Carolina, California, Florida, whatever, and I have to get this pinned down on what I'm going to do. I want to plan this time. Last time, of course, I had dreams and a plan, but I had a life sentence and I was spit out. Things worked out way beyond what I could imagine, and then at the same time, it wasn't what me or my wife imagined because of just how everything happened. And then, of course, I screwed it up, and yeah, I did. So, but I'm going to, once I know and I get designated, I think I am going to aim to stay in Arkansas. I think it just has to play itself out. And one of the things is, I do have a house here. There is equity building up in it. And, you can't run from yourself. You can't change geographical locations. The place that I live in, the town that I live in, I have a house in Hartford. It's not like some place that I want to be the rest of my life or whatever. It's a town that's, little country town in the middle of nowhere. As far as people, there's some good people down there, like anywhere else in the state of Arkansas and surrounding states. It's infested with drugs. But you know what? So was any place else I move. You can't change locations. You have to change yourself. So one of the things I'm really working on and been reading the NA book like crazy is I have to figure out about the self-doubt that I've been going through. I was always a person that just ricocheted off me. I never doubted my opinions or myself or what's going to happen in my life. I just went forward, and if I failed, just kept moving forward. You have to dream big first in order to get somewhere, and then have to just follow through with it. And I guess because of the damage that I've done since I was out, and not really knowing how to deal with a lot of things, especially personal relationships with family, wife, it just created a lot of self-doubt. So I got to figure out a way to get back to me in that aspect. So that's mentally where I'm at. Again, a lot of these calls is more like an auto journal. If I was in prison, I'd be writing about this like I did before, just my thoughts. I will say that I did, when I was in rehab, I took a deep dive on me, and when I was in the hole here last week, some things came up that I realized I even went farther back as far as my life and like things that happened in my childhood. Not bad, but just things that led me to where I am today, and really with relationships, and that's with my daughters, my wife. It was really fascinating, and so I got to figure out how to like just move forward with that, repair relationships if they're salvageable, that's what I'll say. Otherwise, I do want to say that a friend of mine just got sentenced today up here in Fayetteville by the same judge I have. The judge did went below the guidelines, and I was kind of happy about that for 8 months, even though he did get 15 years for meth, and I think it's ridiculous based on the quantity, but that has nothing to do with the judge. Otherwise, I just wanted to kind of think about what else I wanted to say. That's about it right now. Going to try to do a video here. We have video visits. They're messed up. There's a pause in them. The pod that I'm in is actually not a good pod for video visits. I was in B5, and there's never a skip. It would have been perfect, but I got moved over here to B1, which is ridiculously crowded, by the way, and there's federal inmates all over the floor. Not me, but I mean, it's just the way it usually works is when a marshal service places federal inmates in county jails, used to be they had to be held to a higher standard for federal inmates. That's the truth. Obviously not no more. Otherwise, staying clean. People would probably think, most people out there that didn't know, that that's not a big deal because you're in jail. Maybe when I was here in April, but that's not the case in most jails. It's not what people think, but I'm gonna do that. Oh, that's what I was thinking about too. One of the things about this incarceration that I'm kind of happy about is I'm gonna stay clean. I've done it before. There's not a problem. There's not going to be an issue. I can say that without a question of a doubt. And I'm looking forward to then getting out after a substantial amount of clean time, whether that be 6 months or whatever. Because I remember the last time, even going to NAA meetings, you're almost kind of looked down upon. And I know people don't like to hear that because a newcomer's supposed to be what the program's about. But I was actually told to shut my mouth for 90 days because I talk too much. But I am looking forward to getting out, having, 6+ months. And I know that's not a long time in sobriety, but for me it is. And maybe that's ego-driven. I don't know. But it seems different when people have some clean time. And it's, but of course the big challenge or the question is, can you do it? Can I do it when I get out? Yes. I don't know what my future holds, but I do know that I have been giving opportunities. Like I said the other day, I will be writing a book about a certain group that I will be. There's no question, and I have been given an opportunity to be plugged back into to my criminal justice reform area that I want it to be, and I have to. I'm going to harness that, and I'm going to run with that. That's getting back to my roots, who I was when I originally got sober in Butner back in 2007 to 2011. And I'm motivated by that right now. What else? Jail drama. That's what I was going to do, a whole thing about jail drama. Boy, people would trip if they really seen some of the shit that goes on and just and how it works out. The term cashing out would be like checking in, would be like going into protective custody. And over again, guys get themselves in stupid little debts, or they steal. The next thing you know, they're on the door screaming for the cops to move them. I'd probably do something else separate about that. Also, I was thinking about this. There's some really, really good prison shows. I'm not going to put the big ones out there. There's a guy out of the UK that I like a lot that has his own show that did time in Arizona for ecstasy trafficking. But anyway, I thought about this. It's like coming back in here now, you have to keep current. Like, prison changes. So when people are doing stories about what happened and they did time 10 years ago, it's not the same. And I'm not saying this like, oh, I'm in now and then there's programs no good. That's not true. But what a lot of people are talking about have changed significantly. Technology's changed everything. The whole drug thing has changed for the worse inside prisons and jails. Drone drops. There's fucking there's so much cell phones, technology. It's nothing like it was even 3 years ago. Even in the federal system, things are changing substantially from just what guys are telling me. And keeping current about prison stories, I think, is a pretty big deal. At least keeping in contact with people who just got out. I know Chad does over Blood on the Razor Wire. What else am I going to ramble about? I'm trying to think. I think that's about it for now. Again, trying to do a video here shortly. Want to thank everybody for your support, and take care. Bye.